This is Matt in the Man Cave, guys. It is really late night. It's after dark. Double fist bump to you. I want to say thanks for watching all the videos. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you're not posting the videos, do me the favor of posting the devotions that you like on your social media pages. As far as my Patreon partners, you guys rock. Thank you for supporting me. Man Cave is listener supported. You can find the link in my description. A little business that we have to take care of. I've put the giveaway for the Patreon drawing on the hold so I can, build up the supplies. Yet Trey heard that I was doing that, and he was giving a bonus gift. He says, Matt, why don't you let me continue doing the bonus gifts? I said, Trey, are you sure? Friends, my hat is tipped off to Trey. His initials are TNT. Oh, it's explosive, baby. But he is giving you a beautiful knife. We will draw for that knife on November 1st. He'll send that to you. He's also going to inscribe on the blade anything you want. So again, if you would like to be in that drawing, friends, you got to sign up for my Patreon page. You have all of this month to do that. And again, you'll have that sent directly to you if you are the winner of the Patreon drawing. Guys, listen very carefully to this. Tonight, we're going to be in Psalms 55:22. And I just got back, and it's really late night. I went to a neighboring town. I had to go to Sam's Club. I was out of toilet paper. I was out of paper towels. Guys, sit down. Sit down. I was out of coffee. You're like, Matt, how did you make it? Well, I stopped at a convenience store and drank some of that garbage, man. It was all the more reason to get to Sam's Club and get some more coffee. And while I was driving, Tracy was reading some posts that you guys had written. And one of them just really stuck out. Listen to the verse, and I'm going to read the post. It says this: cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. Hey, so the post is from a guy named Van Santos, and his daughter is the one that names all the animals, so don't give them any guff. He's asking you guys a question. Listen, this post is for everyone in the Man Cave. It's just not for Matt. So listen, anyone out there feel like life is one of those circus acts where you have to keep spinning the plates or they're going to fall down? You have the financial plate. You have the health plate, you have the family plate, the spiritual plate, and hundreds of other plates. And you have to keep them, running back and forth and spinning each plate before they fall and shatter. I feel like as soon as I have one of the plates under control, I look back at another plate and it's in pieces on the floor. I was feeling overwhelmed over financial life because I was unemployed for a while. Now that things are getting back in control and my bills are getting paid, and he was praying for a job, and God answered that prayer. Now he has a job. But I understand. Listen very carefully. Now that things are getting back in order and my bills are up to date, I feel like all the other parts of my life are falling apart. Am I alone? Here's the thing, I wrote him back. I says, man, welcome to my world. You're not alone, partner. There isn't a person in the man cave who isn't spinning all of these different plates. And friends, what he's talking about, if you go to the circus, they can spin them on their fingers, or they have sticks that they're holding. And they're like spinning 5-6 plates in one hand and spinning them, and then they have to keep on spinning them, or there's something in front of them, okay? And there's all these plates, and they have to keep on spinning them, and they have to go back and forth, and you're just mind fried. I mean, and here's the thing, there's no stopping, there's no resting, and there's the problem. There's the problem, because I've gone to the circus, and I've watched these people do this, and it's frantic. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. If you're a narcissist, your mind will explode. But the problem is you're always having to focus on all of these different things. And that's the tactic of Satan. We start focusing on all these different things, and we kind of get tricked because we're not focusing on him. You know, my reply was this: give him all the plates. Who's that? Give God all the plates. Friends, you and I don't have to spin one plate. All we have to do is be like a dishwasher. My first job was at a place called Shoney's, and I'll never forget it. And there was a stack of plates this big on the first night. And it was like 11 at night. I'd been sweating like a pig. And the guy says, okay, see all these plates that you've been stacking? You need to put them on the cook's line. And he says, take that. You don't have time to make 3 trips. And I was carrying a stack of plates from here up to here. And I go, well, what am I going to do once I get there? He says, put them on the counter and then put them underneath where the cooks can get them. Come on! You're going to get fired. And if you drop them, you're going to get fired. And no sooner than I get the plates, he yells at me again. He says, if you fall, you're going to get fired. I mean, every day I was threatened to getting fired, and that was my first job, and I was making $3.35 an hour. I didn't want to lose this big corporate job. I mean, here's the thing. All of my future was resting on this pig. But I did that. I grabbed all these plates, and they were up to my nose. I had to drop my arms as far, and I'm walking like this. I'm not even lifting my feet. I'm shuffling through all the grease because it's French fries, it's hamburgers, it's chicken fingers, it's fish. It's a war zone, okay, behind the doors. If you're eating in a restaurant, it's so beautiful. Have you ever been to Crackle Barrel? In that restaurant, in the lobby, they have it so nice. In the back, they're out of French fries, they're out of this, the prep cooks are screaming, they're yelling, no one put the baked potatoes in, it's never clean enough, I'm telling you, it's a war zone, the waitresses are yelling, you know what I'm saying, you didn't cook this right, you didn't do this right, it's friction, okay, and I'm carrying these plates, and then I have to lift the plates up on the counter's up here, but I'm way down here, and finally I get there, and one of the cooks says, hey, let me help you out. Why are you carrying all those plates? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Take a few trips. The guy told me not to take a few trips. It's the joke on the new guy. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, a manager didn't see me doing that. I'd been fired. So he grabs some of the plates. He says, just hold them. And he puts them under there. And he says, you're doing a good job. I've never seen anybody work as hard as you. Friends, I'm telling you, okay, no matter how many trips you have to take and getting on your knees, you need to give the plates to Jesus Christ. You need to usher those into the throne room. You need to lay them all before the King, the great chef, okay? Because he's not going to spin plates. He's going to serve you a royal meal once you're out of this life. You have to realize there's no wrinkle on God's brow. There's no sweat on his forehead. He's not stressed at all. One of the key things that God is trying to teach us to do in this life is rest. Don't feel you have to do anything. You follow the Spirit. That's your only instruction once you give your life to Christ. You're following the Spirit, and the Spirit is guiding. He's leading. He's instructing. He's strengthening. He's encouraging. He is the God who heals. His name's Jehovah Rapha. He's the God who provides. His name is Jehovah Jireh. See, if you will look into the names of God, there is a specific name for our God that deals with your problem. And your problem isn't spinning the plates. Your problem is humbling yourself in the sight of the Lord and giving the plates to King Jesus. Guys, you want to hear a story? Listen very carefully. Here's a story for you. At that very job, after I felt very secure in my position, I mean, there's a time where we've done the same thing for so long that we feel very confident I can do this. You don't want to get there in life, and you never want to get there with your relationship with Jesus Christ. Let me just throw that out there, okay? When you feel you can, you're on a slippery slope. Our lives are based on depending on Him for everything. Okay? When you get to the place where you think, I can handle it, guess what? You've gotten to the place where you're inviting God into your life to take it all away. For He will show you, you can't handle it. You are not able to spin the plates. I am confident because I've been there 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. I'm really good at my job. I mean, everyone praises Matt. I'm fast, guys. I'm carrying plates to the walk-in freezer because those were for what? The salad bar. And when you got a plate for the salad bar, it was always cold. And so I'm carrying these plates, and I'm just kind of goofing around. I'm not focusing. It's not like before where I was really focused. Okay, I'm the man. I'm the alpha male. I got this handled. I slipped, and I fell. All the plates shattered, but one of the plates bounced up and busted out all my teeth. These are all capped. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying you're going to bust out your teeth if you're depending on you. If you think it's my job to spin the plates, friends, just let me tell you that. You cannot do it for any length of time because you'll burn out. You will fry yourself. You will think everything depends on me. Nothing depends on you. It depended on Jesus Christ living a perfect life. It depended on Jesus dying for my sins. It depended on the blood that was applied to my account. Now God's asked me to rest. John 15:5 says, rest. That's what I'll have you to do. I'll work through you. I'll strengthen you. See, if you think it's all about you, you're already a loser because you're guaranteed to fail. Listen to this. I like this verse as well. Proverbs 12:25. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. What's the word? You're hearing the word right now, my friends. Give it all to Christ. Psalm 118:5 and 6 also says this, out of my distress I called on the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me free. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do to me? Friends, there's 1,000 of these verses. Matthew 11:28 through 30. Come to me, all who are laboring and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. See, God's saying you need to learn from him. For I am gentle, I'm lowly in heart, and I will give you rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Over and over again, thousands and thousands and thousands of verses talking about giving it to God. And once you give it to God, don't go running up into the throne room trying to find it again. Oh, that's a free one, my friends. Guys, learning to rest for a man is probably the hardest thing that you will ever have to do, other than waiting on God and his purpose, his plan, his timing for something going on in your life. But you have to rest. If not, you're going to be a stress case. You're going to feel like everything resides with you. If I fail, it's going to... Friends, it's never been about you and me. Do you understand that? And I know God purposely in my life had me fail over and over and over again until I finally got it down. And friends, I swallowed that cup so many times of failure. You have no idea. I haven't even hit 1,000 of the stories I could tell you about Matt the failure. And who did it to me? It was God. And glory to God for making me a failure. Fail. Friends, I crashed and burned so many times. I've crashed and burned so much that every one of you should have a hall pass that you should never fail for the rest of your life. Just say, I'm going to borrow one of Matt's failures. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there and I've done it. And what was God trying to teach me? I can't. He can. Paul's crying out, take this, what? Why in the world would God the Father place a burden on Paul the Apostle? Paul the Apostle was living the straight and narrow. I mean, he wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, and yet he's crying out to God because God, God afflicted Paul with something that he called a thorn in his flesh. And he cried out 3 different times, Lord, take this thing. And I know people argue about that, and that's not where we're going here tonight. Take this thing away from me. I would be so much more effective. I could accomplish so much more. I could do this for you. See, God wanted Paul not to rest in himself, but to rest in his weakness. And the weakness was that God was crippling Paul. Whatever was going on in Paul's life, it was hindering what he thought the end result was supposed to be for God. But God did it on purpose. God, because of what God had showed Paul, he had to bring, that into his life. He had to slow him down. Friends, it's the same with you and I. And it's going to be like that for all of your life until you get to the place where you realize, if I fail, I only failed because of God. Because if I'm following the Spirit, it's on him. It's not on me. But if it's on you because you're trying to be ruler, master, and controller of your own life, it's on you. But what's the worst thing? I didn't follow God. I slid down the slippery slope. I failed miserably. I lost all my money. I lost my house. I lost my car. I moved into a homeless shelter. Blah, 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 blah. Friends, as long as you have breath in your lungs and you can cry out to God and say, forgive me, Lord. Establish me, Lord. Restore me, Lord. He will in Christ. But you got to get to that place. And until you get to the place where you realize it's not me spinning the plates, it's me following the master. He made the plates. Hope that helped you out, guys. You know I love you. Hey, you know I love you. Right? Hunter? He loves you guys. He prays for you every single day. Obey God. Leave the consequences to him. Hunter said it right. This is Matt in the cave.